How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Brandon's Bikes YouTube channel. Before we get started, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell, that way you get notified every single time I drop a video. Well, we finally got some good weather. I was able to get outside and get the bike washed, and I figured what a better time to do a product review than right now. So thanks to RickRak, this time I'll be reviewing the Top Grip Kit, which is RickRak's GoPro mount system. Stay tuned. So what is the Top Grip Kit? Well, the Top Grip Kit is RickRak's 3 different mounting systems for your GoPro. You can mount to your fairing, your fork, or a clamp style mount for your handlebars. Now let's take a look at the product. So here you can see the Top Grip Kit, the 3 GoPro mounts from RickRak. Let's go ahead and unpack this box and see what we've got. You can see here we've got the original swivel base. This is gonna be your 360 mount. This is for your fork mount. This is the actual clamp mount itself. This is your RickRak wrench, which is pretty cool. It goes on the knob for your GoPro to help tighten it up. Here we have the set screws for your different fairing styles. This is your GoPro base mount that you would use for any GoPro regardless of the mount. You've got your knobs here to tighten that up to your mounts. And then you've got a lanyard to help ensure that your GoPro doesn't actually fall off and hit anything. Today we're going to be putting the Top Grip Kit right here on the Batwing fairing. So as you're installing this, make sure that you pay attention to the product instructions. Step number 1 for my Batwing fairing is to remove this screw from the windshield. They recommend using the left side. So we got that removed. Now that you've got the original screw removed, we're going to install our set screw with an Allen wrench. Just make sure that you use the correct size set screw. All right, so you're gonna wanna leave about a 1/2 inch of set screw exposed. For step number 3, you're gonna place your rubber washer on there, and then one of these bases that was provided, that screws on there. Now you can either use this base for the 360 mount, or you can use the swivel base. Now that I've got my rubber washer and my 360 base, I am going to install my 360 mount. Again, you can use the other mount, just screws in like any other GoPro would, and you can see it's kind of loose and it's already, you know, finger tight, hand tight. So this is where you're going to actually use the supplied wrench, which is pretty cool, and you can really feel the quality of this RickRak product. I mean, everything is metal, nothing's plastic, nothing's cheap. Feels really secured. Now for the 360 portion, you would just loosen that up, and this will actually spin around just like this and allow for that 360 feature. And when you got it where you want it, you just tighten it back down, and then to make sure that it really doesn't go anywhere, tighten it up with the RickRak wrench, just like that. And that is your 360 mount. Now they do sell these extensions. You can get them in a 2, 4, 6, or 8 inch to go above your windshield depending on how high your windshield is. This particular extension is a 2 inch extension, and just for reference, I have a 6.5 inch Clockworks windshield, so this would go right on top just like you would mount any other GoPro. Tighten that up, and then again use your supplied wrench. So just to show you what this would look like with the swivel base, again, this is the swivel base as opposed to the 360 base. Now they're both 360, they're just 2 different styles of bases. You can see the swivel base attaches slightly differently. Again, it just screws on to the set screw, but it just has a little bit of a different look. And this is the rest of the setup that we had previously installed with the 2 inch extension up top. Now personally, I really like this original 360 base. It seems really easy to operate, swivels around really easy. And one thing that I really like about it is I really just like the way that it connects to the fairing. And you don't have to wrench down on it just to get your mount straight up and down or anything. Again, this is all personal opinion, but I think that I really like the original mount a little bit better than the 360 mount. But again, they supply both, so choose whichever one you like the most. So just to show you what it looks like from the rider's perspective, again, I've got the 2022 Streetlight Special, and I have a Clockworks 6.5 inch windshield. I've got the 2 inch extension on right now, and as you can see, when I turn it towards the windshield, I can't quite see over the windshield. So RickRak does sell the 2, 4, 6, and 8 inch extensions. Again, this is the 2 inch extension, and for me personally, and please keep in mind, this is totally my personal opinion, I think I would want to go with a 6 inch extension just because the type of video that I shoot and what I want to be able to use my camera for. I've got a GoPro Hero 9 Black. I don't have an actual 360 camera, so I would have to actually swivel this around on the base. I personally would want a 6-inch extension. That way that I could see over the windshield and be able to turn the camera any different direction that I want and not have to worry about it. However, something to keep in mind, the bigger the extension that you have on your mount, the more shaking that you're gonna get. Even though this is a top quality mount, everything's metal, it's tightened down really well. You know, if you're doing 60 miles an hour or whatever on the highway, you're still gonna get a little bit of shaking. Now, luckily the GoPros do have the image stabilization, but just something to think about. Now let's take a look at the clamp mount. Now, looking at the clamp mount, this is a very robust clamp style mount. Again, everything is metal and it's nice. It's got these rubber coated strips right over the clamps to protect whatever surface you're mounting it on. You can mount it on anything that you can clamp to. You can mount it on a handlebar, engine guard, rear luggage rack of a tour pack. Anything that you can clamp to, you can mount it to. You can use it with either one of the bases. You can use it with the original swivel base, or you can use it with the 360 mount. Depending on which mount you go with, depends on which washers you're gonna use, so make sure that you follow the instructions. These are your fender washers, and this is your rubber washer. So for the clamp mount, you could mount it to your saddlebag guards, screws on just like that. You could mount it to your engine guard, just like that. Just screws on, unscrews. You could even mount it to your handlebars. Again, it just screws on just like that. Now, personally, I'm not going to be using the fender mount, but this is what comes in the fender mount bag. This is what actually goes into your fender, and your GoPro accessories would mount to that. And these are the supplied washers that come with it. Definitely pay attention to the instructions if you're gonna mount this to the fender, and make sure that you're using the washers in the right way. You don't want anything to fall off. Now, if you're gonna be using the fender mount, this is the screw right there that you're going to be using, and you can use either the left side of the wheel or the right side of the wheel. It does not matter. All right, so what's my overall review? I got to be honest, this is the second product now that I've gotten from RickRak, and everything that I've gotten has been really top-notch quality. You can tell everything is metal, there's no plastic, everything feels solid. The fact that they included the wrench to tighten everything down, the lanyard, the packaging that it came in, it's a really well-made product, and I highly recommend it. As always, thanks for watching the Brandon's Bikes YouTube channel. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you stay tuned for all the future product reviews and motovlogging. Until next time, stay safe and keep the rubber side down.